Welcome. In front of me I have the HMD Arc, and I'll be going over a quick unboxing along with a look at the device and its specifications. Okay, so let's just get straight into this. Now this device was released some time ago. I'm not sure why it's at the office now, like 2 years late, but it is what it is. So because it is here, I guess it's my job to get through this. So anyway, before I actually get through this, I do want to mention that if you're right now in 2026, like halfway through it nearly, looking to buy this device, and you kind of looking for opinions about it now, maybe this is the only one you found, probably you shouldn't be buying this. Devices have a life cycle of how long they're being updated, and this one, either it's already gone or nearly there. So I probably wouldn't recommend going for that, as you know, security patches and all that is I would say important to a device, so you can be secure on it. But also, because devices gotten much better nowadays, they offer way more performance for very low price. Now, other than that, we got some paperwork in here, SIM eject tool, and a cable, which is Type-C to, well, let's see. Come on, get out. Type-A to Type-C. Okay, so let's move on. There it is, there's a phone. So talking about the display, this is a 6.52 inches in size with a measly resolution of 576 pixels by 1280. It's an LCD display with a peak brightness of staggering 460 nits. This display is already kind of funny how bad it is. Anyway, moving on. We are looking at an 80% screen to body ratio and a pixel density of 215 pixels per inch, with, as you can see, pretty chunky chin. Let's see if we can get it, like, shine the light so we can kind of see where the cutout is. You can see it right here, hopefully. There we go, so you can see it clearly now, where the display ends and the screen begins. Where the bezel ends and the screen begins. Okay. So, the display right here, underwhelming to say the least. Moving on to the specifications of it. Internally, we have a 5000 mAh battery, which is actually pretty nice. Only 10 watts of charging in terms of speed, so you're going to be charging it for a while. 4 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigabytes of built-in storage, which is expandable by SD card once I actually find the freaking tool. Oh, there we go, found it. So I can pop out the tray, and you can see SD card and SIM card support. But like I said, 64 gigabytes out of the box, which is also on a very low end. Personally, I probably wouldn't be buying a phone with only 64 gigabytes, as even though you can pop in an SD card, there are things that you won't be able to store on the SD card. So having space for applications, stuff like that on your phone storage is going to be very crucial for this. And 124 gigabytes, I would say, is basically what I would consider the bare minimum, specifically nowadays. Now, moving on. Processor in here is the Unisoc SC9863A. I have no clue what it is, but based on the fact that this is not running a full version of Android, apparently. Do you know what? I'm going to check. English. So this is supposedly running Android 14 Go edition. Which means that it's a very low powered one, because the processor in here is absolutely awful. And you can already kind of probably tell by me clicking on things and the phone just kind of staggering to it. It's like it's funny how slow it is. Oh wait, no, I don't want to set that up. Huh? How do I skip this shit? Oh, there we go. Awful design there. Okay, so here's our home screen. Working pretty sluggishly. Wow, that is an experience, to say the least. So here you see we have some information. Oh, interesting. So on GSM Marina it says that this phone has 4 GB of RAM, but here we only got 2, which is even less. Wow. So yeah, this is obviously going to be running pretty slowly, pretty badly, just because of the RAM that it has. But it looks like this is just Android 14. It doesn't seem like it's the Go version, although I could be wrong. In any case, okay, let's actually quickly check. There's one thing that will sell it out. It's the photos. Oh, wait, am I blind? Where is the photos? Oh, yep, this is a Go one. So you don't have photos, you have gallery instead here. Okay, so yeah, this is running a cut down version of an Android that is supposedly more light. It is running already sluggishly. It has a very low amount of RAM, very slow. And last thing that I do want to check is the price of this, which please tell me it's like $20. Oh god, it's like it's like 100 almost. What the fuck? You gotta be kidding me. Wow, this is $100 for this. Okay. Now, truth be told, I do have a little bit of probably a stupid approach to this, and to you, my recommendation might be not a very useful one, but I generally believe that spending more money on a phone will be much better, but I'm not saying go for the freaking S25 Ultras or anything like that. I do have a kind of cherry-picked phones that I generally like to recommend, just because I know that they run fantastically and they are offering well above its price range. And those primarily come from Poco. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Let me just quickly find them exact models. I think it's going to be this one of these. So we're looking at the primarily, I would say, the Xiaomi Poco X8 Pro, as I think Poco which one was it? Oh, there we go, this one. Let me check the okay, this one is way more expensive. So yeah, the Xiaomi Poco. Now this is going to be more like $250. So like I said, it could be potentially moronic to you, this kind of recommendation. But this is what I consider basically the best value for money. There's actually one more device that could be good. Now that I remember, there's also the Nothing phone. So Nothing phone, CMF phone 2 Pro. 2 Pro or 1 Pro. Either one of those, 1 or 2 from Nothing CMF will be a great option. They are very close to each other in reality. Just the first one is obviously the first one, so it's a little bit older. So again, in terms of longevity for support, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, for this one, it's going to be about the same. It goes up to Android 16, which is current one, so on up to 2 major Android upgrades, and that means that when you're buying the CMF Phone 1, when you buy it now, it's no longer going to be updated. So this potentially would not be a greatest option, but the 2 Pro was released last year, and this should have obviously decent Android support. It's up to 3 years also, which is longer, and starts already with Android 15. So it's going to be probably a much better option for you. And because this device is about a year old, it's going to be closer to the price of this. Not obviously nowhere near the like $100 that this one costs. Closer to like 200, I would say, maybe just a little bit below that. If you're gonna go for used ones, you probably can get a much better price, and it's going to be a much better option compared to this one. Like, we're talking about just infinitely better device. So like I said, in this case, you're paying double the price, and if we say, even put it this way, but in the grand scheme of things, 200 from 100, this is gonna be like a insane performance jump in how the device feels, how it works, what it offers, what it can do, compared to if you were to jump from that 200 to 600. Honestly, probably you wouldn't see much of a difference. You probably wouldn't be able to tell that much apart between these kind of two devices. So I will always advocate for spending a little bit more to get that much faster device if you're looking for it, and just save up, do yourself a favor in reality, because that's what it boils down to. This is not something that you're going to be using for long. This is not something that you're going to enjoy using, I would say, and this is not something that's going to offer great usability even, as everything here is just kind of going to be trash. So saving up, if that is an option for you, and then buying a phone that is a little bit newer, potentially even going for a used one, but newer, like I said, that CMF Phone 2 Pro, will get you a infinitely better experience compared to this one. This is something that I would buy, so I can maybe break it in half when I'm frustrated. And just for that reason, I would most likely not want to use it unless I'm using it to throw it at a wall. So that's kind of my approach to these ultra budget devices, which is what this is in reality. So anyway, that's my take. Potentially to you, this could have been completely useless, a recommendation that I gave you. If it wasn't, then at least I could help in some way with that recommendation. But in any case, if you found it helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.